Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome. It's Dr. Bashara Wilson with New York Sports Acupuncture. Today, we are going to be talking about lung health. We're going to be talking about lung health because the autumn season is the season of the lungs, and this is the perfect time to take care of ourselves and our lungs specifically because we will be in tune with ourselves and be in tune with nature, be in tune with our surroundings to optimize our health for now and for the future. Let's get into it. First, we talk about purpose of our lungs and how our lungs work. When we breathe in air, the air goes in through our nose or our mouth. If we breathe through our mouth, goes into our lungs. Our lungs are kind of get saturated or covered with blood vessels. The lungs, the air that goes into our lungs exchanges and goes, brings the oxygen into the blood vessels. Those blood vessels then connect to our larger arteries and, capillaries and arteries, and that then makes its way to all of our organs, our vital organs. It makes our way to our tissues and cells, drops off oxygen. Then when we breathe out, the carbon dioxide and other waste goes to our veins and then makes its way back to the lungs and we exhale. A matter of fact, with breathing is one of the ways that we actually get rid of waste in the body. And so, other ways of getting rid of waste in the body, of course, is when we urinate, when we move our bowels, and also when we sweat. So, that's some basic lung anatomy. When we're dealing with it from an Eastern medicine perspective, we oftentimes deal with the lung meridian. We have all of our different acupuncture meridians that flow all throughout the body. And this season, again, is the lungs, and its paired organ is the large intestine. The lung is like the vital organ that performs that strong function of breathing, amongst other functions in Eastern medicine, traditional Chinese medicine, or Taoist medicine. And then the large intestine, we know the function, of course, of our waste in terms of solid waste, fecal matter moving through the large intestine and out. And so the element for the lungs is the metal element. The color for the lungs is white. The direction we say that the lung energy or the metal energy draws from is the west. The planet that rules the lung meridian is Venus. And let me see, the taste is like acrid or spicy. And it's also cool and dry outside. So, with that, to be in tune with that, one, we want to keep our lungs. We say the lung is the delicate organ. It's actually, besides our stomach, but it's our main organ that's exposed to the outside. With every breath that we take, we are exposing our lungs to the outside. And so we call it, for that reason, the delicate organ. And this season of the year, one of the ways that we want to protect our lungs is simple things like wearing a scarf, not letting that wind get into your body. One of the ways that folks can really get sick this time of the year is through what we call the wind cold invasion. Here in New York, where I am, it gets really windy, really chilly. I can imagine people who are in places like Chicago, which is ridiculous with that wind coming off of that river over there. But that wind can go into the body and it can lock up the, yes, Ishmael. But I'll get back to that. I'll get back to Ishmael. Thank you. Um, One of the comments here. Yeah, are you sad? We'll address that in a few. Thank you. But that wind can really go into the body and lock up and cause the pores to tighten. And when that wind and cold get locked up into the body, that's when we can wake up with neck pain, with fevers, with chills, with overall body aches. So one of the things that we will do when we get home from being outside is to drink a simple tea, like a ginger tea is great this time of the year. Also, traditionally, something like miso soup, or even hot water. I am over here sweating like crazy, but hold on. Give me 1 second because I feel crazy right here. Don't go anywhere. Excuse me. It is unseasonably warm here in New York today. But with the wind and the cold, again, that goes up and that can go in and lock up in our body and cause us to have fevers, chills, nasal congestion, sore throat, overall body aches. And overall body aches and all of that can go on, and overall body aches. And so when we drink the tea, hot tea, the tea literally helps us to open our pores. Or even taking a hot shower or a hot bath, but specifically hot tea. So that hot tea is going to open up the pores, let out that wind and cold, and can relieve pain, the achiness and the pain, and also just prevent it from happening in the first place. Also, some other foods that help with that, spicy foods or acrid foods that we say, like garlic, onions, scallions, the other foods that are in season this time of the year. Any of your white foods, white flesh foods in terms of fruits and vegetables, like your pears are in season this year. Apples, we went apple picking recently. That'd be great too with the family. This time of the year, other vegetables or fruits, but vegetables for all intents and purposes that are in season are your squashes, like your hard squashes, the hard pumpkins, and all of those delicious hard squashes in that family are great to roast. Now is that time of the year where we want to start eating more warming foods. We want to get out our soups. We want to begin to get away from those chillier foods like your frozen smoothies that you may drink. That's going to cool the body down and cause the body to have to function even harder, to have to function even more this time of the year. We want to, some of the ways we want to eat our different greens that are in season this time of the year: the kale, collard greens, mustard greens, turnip greens, cabbage, bok choy, all of these things. And if you look at a leaf, naturally, the leaf is the part of a plant or a tree that actually corresponds to the lungs. Like the leaves are literally like the lungs of the tree. And if you turn a tree upside down, it looks like our bronchioles and our air passages upside down. So very interesting when we talk about like God's signature, where different things in nature correspond to aspects of ourselves. One of the ways that I always recommend that people get their foods that are in season is to just go to your local farmers market. Your local farmers market is often going to have foods that are grown within 100 miles or less. So you're getting the foods that naturally grow close to where you live. Most farmers also take pretty good care of their crop and show more love to their food than something that you'll just get at a supermarket that can be coming from the whole other side of the world where you can just get that in your local community, and also support your local farmers and local economics and all of that type of good thing like that. Um, what else about food? I think that's about it. So, um, with Ismaelo commented, "Are you sad?" It wasn't being facetious, actually. Being sad and grief are the two emotions where too much of that can affect the lungs, where on the opposite side, we say that courage and focusing on courage can boost the energy of the lungs. So, thank you for that. When we look at the lungs and the lung meridian, now is your part where you can participate. We have get backwards in here. Hold on. Okay, there we go. Kind of get turned around online. So right under your clavicle, if you go right into this space between the corner of your chest and right in that indentation, right where your clavicle, this bone across the front meets the front of the shoulder, there's a little dip. This is where the lung meridian starts, maybe about an inch below there. Here's the first point on the lung meridian and the second point here on the lung meridian. Some of the simple ways that you can help to strengthen your lungs is to massage these points. It might be a little tender, actually. I know for some people it's going to be tender. But you can massage this point daily and throughout the day. Um, and the lung meridian actually, it starts here, it travels across the inside of your arm, or the outside of your arm, over your bicep, over the inside of your elbow, and down to the outside corner of your thumb here. And even massaging there, you can get some oil and you can literally like massage uh, with intention. And we'll talk about some things around breathing and qigong, but using your intention to literally focus and bring your energy um, from this first point that we talked about here and bring it down your arm into your finger there. And that will also help to keep your lung energy moving and coursing throughout your body. You can also do that, how I was saying before, if you caught it, that the color of the lung is white. So one of the things that we can do is that we can use our imagination. Our imagination is very powerful, and we can use our imagination to imagine the color white all throughout our body when we breathe in, and the same way you can inhale and feel that air filling up your lungs, or feel that air filling up your lungs, you can inhale the color white and just bathe your whole lungs in the color white. There are different colors for each season. We don't have to get into that right now. I can say, look that up. What are the, in terms of traditional Chinese medicine or Taoist colors of the five elements? There's some homework for you if you're interested. You can sleep with white sheets, anything white, eat white foods, visualize the color white. We talked about pears and apples and cauliflower. Those are foods that are just going to be naturally good for the lungs. Other white foods, garlic, onions. Again, this is dealing with like God's signature, and it's also dealing with being in tune with our body according to some of the tenets of the Tao and the five elements and all of those things like that. There's some ways that we can cleanse the lungs. One of the ways that we can cleanse the lungs is what we can do what's called fire breaths, where fire breaths are where you inhale and exhale very quickly, where you using your stomach like a in your diaphragm. What's the thing we used to pump the fire with back in the day? Bellows, where you use your stomach like bellows, and you just that sort of thing where you're quickly breathing your stomach in and out, and using your stomach to pump air in and out your lungs, in and out of your lungs. That's going to deeply help get your blood circulation going, and also help to get any excess and old air out of our lungs, the bottom of our lungs. We can tend not to breathe deeply. So at the bottom of our lungs, a lot of time that air down there can actually tend to get stale. So this helps to get things moving, get things circulating, and pushed out of the body. Some other breathing techniques that we can do are what's called diaphragmatic breathing, where, and this is excellent for people that are runners. Some of my folks preparing for the New York City Marathon coming up in a couple weeks. I have a couple patients, couple clients that are preparing for that. But one of the ways that we do diaphragmatic breathing is actually opposite of how most people think about breathing. So saying that, or meaning that when we inhale, like a lot of times when someone says, take a deep breath, people will and breathe into their chest, where that's actually kind of opposite of how we want to do. We want to breathe like a baby breathes. We have our diaphragm, which is a muscle that's right below the bottom of our lungs and above our liver and stomach and pancreas. But so when we inhale and we push our stomach out, the diaphragm actually goes down, and the lungs up here gets more lung capacity, where versus if you inhale and breathe into your lungs, you're actually pulling the diaphragm up and causing less air to go in your lungs, versus when you inhale and push your stomach out, you're getting deeper breath capacity. One of the ways that I like to practice this, when I first learned how to do this, was I would lay on my back and put a book on my stomach. And when I inhale, I would focus on lifting the book. And when I exhale, I would focus on bringing my stomach back down. I started this actually in high school when when began running cross country, long distance running, and I would do this in wrestling and playing basketball and track, and that was like one of my secret, like that was like my secret sauce was I would do diaphragmatic breathing. And I just wouldn't get tired. So I'll be watching everyone because I realized most people, at least at that time, didn't really know how to breathe properly. I would literally just run around the court, um, waiting for people to get tired, and then that was my time to strike. What else do we have here? The going back to qigong being exercising our body's qi or vital energy. We started off with some qigong with visualizing, inhaling or exhaling. The color white, the fire breaths can be a form of qigong. Even the diaphragmatic breathing is a form of qigong. Qigong combines our intention, like focusing on what we're doing, our intentional breath, and also our posture. So another form of qigong are healing sounds. In the Tao, the sound for the lungs is S. So we want to inhale the color white. Imagine you're inhaling the color white into your lungs. And when you exhale, exhale with the color, with the sound. We can even get some movements with that where we're inhaling up with our hands above our head, with our hands pointing up towards the sky. And then you would look up and then exhale. You would look up through your hands and exhale with that sound. So again, you want to breathe in, imagining the color white, and when you exhale, you're exhaling with the sound. So that is just about it. I know I covered a lot today. Let me check my Instagram, folks. All right. Um, okay. Do we have any questions or comments on Instagram? If anybody has any questions, put them on in the chat and I will answer then. If not, thanks for tuning in. Hey, Florence, I appreciate you tuning in. Thanks, Ramon. Peace. Again, Florence says she often drinks hot water with fresh lemon juice. It revives me. Yes, I'm actually going to be putting up a short on honey lemon water and how that can benefit. What am I drinking, Moot? I am drinking this herb formula I call the Five Horsemen. Helps with the vitality, energy, reproductive health, and just give me some little extra oomph along while I'm doing all of this. Can eat white foods. Yes, we addressed that. Sleeping on white sheets. And I have white bamboo sheets that feel amazing. On a herbal vibe, we say bamboo. We actually use bamboo as an herb. Oh, actually, I didn't really cover herbs too much. So we will get into that now. Bamboo is actually one of the herbs that we use that helps to get rid of phlegm and mucus in the lungs. So you can even move with your science. I know you know how to do it. Tune into the bamboo in your sheets, which are also going to be naturally healthy and strengthening the lungs. So on my website, Manifest Herbs. I'll put that in the chat real quick. On my website, manifestherbs.com, I have a lung builder tea, which is excellent for this time of the year. I have some I need to put on at home, actually, my next bottle of that or next jug of that. And each season we want to drink the herbs that are in tune for the season. So we have our lungs, and then I also spoke about the large intestine as the paired organ. So this season would also be a great time, really any time, but this season would be a great time for our colon cleanse tea too. But go to our Manifest Herbs, and it's either called Lung Builder or Lung Care. Either one, and that is excellent for this time of the year. Some other herbs that you want to take this time of the year just on your own. Again, we deal with ginger, which it goes to the lungs and the stomach, is going to help to open up the lungs, get rid of any mucus. The warming aspect of ginger is going to naturally support our health and keep us warm and supplement our body's warmth this time of the year so that we don't have to work harder to stay warm in the summertime. It's naturally hot outside, but it actually takes a certain amount of energy to stay warm. So fresh ginger is great in the autumn season. Cut up a couple slices of that, boil that up, keep that on the stove. Drink that. Some people even drink the instant ginger powder. I'll drink those sometimes. They can have a little bit of sugar. Well, you can get the ones that have honey and don't have sugar in them. Some other herbs that are great this season of the year. Another one is American ginseng. Um, Unfortunately, in the US doesn't have as strong of a culture around consuming herbs, and American ginseng grows upstate New York and also Wisconsin, and the majority of it is actually exported to Asia where they love it and actually ship it back here and sell it back to us. Go figure. But American ginseng is also another herb that you can take this time of year to strengthen the lungs. The lung yin, we say, so it's going to help to strengthen the energy of the lungs and also keep the lungs moist because the temperature of the lungs is cool, and it also tends to be dry this time of the year. Another herb that you can take is astragalus. Astragalus also goes to the lungs and boosts the lung chi and strengthens the lung chi. um, Schizandra berries. And when we, that's going to also help to support the lungs. We say Schizandra helps to astringe the lungs. It helps to keep the lung energy in so that it doesn't escape easily. So it helps to support the lungs in that way. And again, I would challenge you to use, we all have the phone, go on and Google or search, research in your books what foods are in season where you live, what herbs are in season, what foods are good for the lungs, which herbs are good for the lungs, and put that on your shopping list. And when you go to the local farmers market or the supermarket, you can support your health naturally through your everyday living. You can begin to build your own herbal pharmacy. One of the things I would love to have is for everyone to have, to be like a healer, everyone to have like a healer in your household, and you can be that person for yourself and for your family. And that is about it. Let me see if there are any more comments or questions. All right, I think that is about it. If you would like to contact me for a evaluation, I'm based here in my practice, New York Sports Acupuncture, my private practice with acupuncture. I specialize in musculoskeletal conditions, treating athletes. I actually work with the Liberty, Go Liberty ladies. They won. Can definitely say I assisted them with, treating some of their athletes, or pretty much most of the team, and helping them out and helping to keep them healthy. And they just won the other day, so I claim some of that too. My folks again that are training for the New York City Marathon, time is not too late. Come on in, and we can help you with any back pain or hip pain, knee pain, ankle. Helps to support your energy with herbs and diet, a personalized consultation in that way, and a personalized treatment plan. And for my folks that are not in New York and not in Brooklyn, I also do telemedicine where we can do an evaluation, a video evaluation, or over the phone or however, and we can create a treatment plan for you of herbs, nutritional supplements, diet, other lifestyle changes to help you reach your health goals. So, with that, thank you all again for tuning in, and I will see you next time. Take it easy.